There you go, Darius Rucker. And as if by magic, whoa, hang on a minute, we'll have that later. Can't play that. We've got Jacob Anthony on for the chef slot. How you doing, Jacob, my man?
Morning!
Oh, Jesus,
Good morning, my neighbours!
Yay, fuck you. Yes. How you doing, fella? You all right?
I'm good. How was your Christmas?
Yeah, good. I'm glad all that crap's out of the way now and all back in the loft. Couldn't wait to shove it. I rammed it all there. Get in there! All screaming at me. Get in, Bush. I'm glad it's gone, mate. I hate it, really. I do. Yeah. It was quite nice in some respects, nice and quiet. But how are you, my friend? You all right?
I'm good. I'm cracking on with the new year now, and like hitting in style, I think. Well, trying to, at least with the hat anyway. So
I'm liking that. I'm liking it, mate. I've got one of them somewhere in here, I think, actually. Similar to that. It's good for radio, this. It's got a trilby on people. I've got a baseball cap on. So what we're talking about today, my friend? What
we're doing is, what we're talking today is like taking charge of your kitchen for 2021.
Right.
So 3 tips for taking charge of your kitchen for 2021. What I mean by that is just grabbing it by the
Coolness.
And just taking control of your because sometimes basically if you don't have that control, that's when cooking gets stressful. So like what I mean by that is just sort of treating the kitchen the same way you would with your business. Then basically, I'm loving that hat, dude.
I like that. It's good for radio, this, but everyone will be able to watch the video later. I've got a character there, you see. I'm like Mr. Ben. But go on, sorry, mate. I disrupted you then.
So what I mean by that is, if you start to plan things, it becomes less stressful in the kitchen. For example, if you're trying to, you've got a lot of the listeners out there will have children at home right now.
Yeah.
What I'm going to try and do is try and make things a little bit easier for them by giving them a couple of tips then on how to sort of just get things ready then for the meal times and stuff like that, so that they, you're not rushing around trying to, taking longer than you need to then cooking wise. So I'll teach you a couple of tricks then that the restaurants tend to use then, like for example, menu planning. Like for example, having a sort of a tally of what's in your fridge, what's in your freezer, then in your cupboards, then so you're not bumbling around the shops then wondering, have I got this? I can't remember if I got this, that kind of thing. And wasting money then as well. I
get that. I get that, mate. I get that. So we're starting with the basics to get your in order, and then the other good stuff is going to flow in it. You're right, because if you go around the supermarket and don't know what you're buying, and you come back and you go, oh, all right, I've already got a load of tomatoes in there. And people might go, well, that's not... It happens, doesn't it? I've done it myself, come back and gone, oh, there you go.
And the thing is as well, if you've got kids in tow, it's a really stressful situation. You're trying to keep them under control. You've got everyone else then worrying about, around you, worrying about, being in proximity with them, with everything else that's going. We say, I won't speak any more on that. And it just makes, you're trying to think and your kids are going, can I have this? Can I have that? And I'm like, no, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get a list and even start doing it online, start building your shopping basket online, that kind of thing. You can do that, make that a bit easier then as well. So,
cool.
For example, there's now supermarkets that are they're able to do like next day deliveries and things like that. If you've got places like Iceland and Co-op, they're able to do next day or the day or on the day deliveries. So it might be a little bit pricey for Co-op, but it's that time then that you're saving weight and stuff like that. So it's all about getting that prep then. Plus, you get in control of your health then.
Yeah.
Because one thing you'll notice. You might not know this, but food manufacturers, they pay a premium to get their food in your eye line.
Yeah.
What happening is the most profitable food lines then they'll be trying to ram it in your eye line basically, and they aren't always the most healthy of the foods, to be honest. Like that's why you had that's why you used to have confectionery on the checkouts and things.
And they've stopped that now. I mean, generally, you do still get stuff in places, but it tends to be protein bars and some other nonsense that they have on there, don't they? Instead, nuts and things. Yeah,
exactly. And nuts aren't exactly the healthiest of sort of foods, are they? They're high in fats and things like that, but people don't tend to realise that. A good mate of mine, a mutual mate of mine, said last night that what people forget is that nuts, we only used to, you know, eat back in the day, we only used to sort of harvest them by foraging. We didn't have them en masse, that kind of thing. So you didn't have a lot of access to them. So that's why we weren't eating. I mean, there was a reason why we weren't eating so many of them. We weren't getting fat. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. You can't. You wouldn't get a kilo, would you? Peanuts. Kilo's a kilo. You wouldn't be. It'd take you all day to get a kilo, wouldn't it? Now you can sit and demolish them in 10 minutes. So
exactly. So so what I'm doing, you might have noticed that I'm all dusted up at the moment on the own. I've been making a pizza dough. Now the reason for that basically is what I've done is I've planned out my my week then, and I've got tomatoes. I've got a base tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Then basically, what I do is I've used it for chili. I've used it for bolognese. I've used it for like a seafood, like a marinara.
Yeah.
For pizza then. So I've got the carbs coming in then as well. So
excellent. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. I think what we'll do, we'll have a track. I think it's a good point to end that little segment off. We'll have a track and then we'll come right back and we'll talk about your tomato and pizza. And if anyone says they want pineapple on a pizza, if they come round to mine, just I'll be laughing at you. I'll shove you out the door.
Please don't make me shudder. Honestly, don't make me shudder.
Right, let's have a track and we'll be right back with the chef slot with the amazing Jacob Anthony. Let's have a track, and I've selected this for you people.